for a reevaluation of his finger. How did that go?
Yeah, he's making good progress. We feel good about it, and he won't play tomorrow. Sorry about that. But we're happy with how he's progressing.
And then Grayson, Devin, and Josh, where are they at as far as playing time?
No, none of those guys will play tomorrow. They're all kind of in different, stages or whatever it is. But I think all where we expect.
When you look at just that situation, it means other guys that maybe haven't played as much will. Is that a silver lining in all this? Is the other guys get opportunities?
Yeah, I think we talked about it some with Nurk, with Oso and Mason getting a lot of reps, a lot of opportunity, even Frank a little bit. So there is, tomorrow, some of these other guys getting opportunities, and even last night, it is, the silver lining of having guys that are injured.
We're going to follow up just with Frank, and obviously he's in a situation trying to get that last spot. How are you evaluating whether to fill it or not fill it, or in Frank in that role?
Yeah, it's having an open spot can be, that adds to our flexibility, adds to things you can do down the road, and then there's a player like Frank that can help you, maybe win games and help us in a lot of different ways. It's a veteran, smart, a lot of things that we want to be about. So having Frank in camp has been great, and those will be the hard decisions that with Josh and James and the front office, we got to sit down and just put everything together and make good hard decisions.
With Tyus, he's talked about walking the line between looking to facilitate but also being a threat as a scorer. How have you seen him kind of navigate that balance so far?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of stuff being thrown at everybody, and including him, and so I think he's doing great. I think he's really smart. He's handling all this stuff in a great way, and he's I think taking care of his teammates first. And but I think he's overall been really good walking that line.
What have you kind of liked about Mason as a connector with his passing in the first unit since he's been at the start?
Yeah, he's a guy that plays incredibly unselfishly. He's trying to get other guys shots and opportunities. He's moving to second actions and things like that. So, I think he's been really good for whatever unit he plays with. He's a connector, like you said.
Mason was mentioning how some teams rebuilding doesn't matter if you have guys that are one and done compared to teams like yours that are winning now, championship expectations of having guys that are more seasoned in college. Do you feel like also applies in that way, and why he's seen as more professional? What do you feel he fits into this roster?
Yeah, I do think there's something to Oso's experience. I think Marquette's a great program. Coach Smart does a great job there. Just older, more mature, has seen things, experienced success and adversity, and so for us to draft him and for him to be fitting in, and Ryan similarly, that we have guys that are probably more experienced than maybe some of the one and done guys that fit with what we're trying to do and can come in and help us.
After a game like that with clear points of defensive improvement, how do you handle the balance between letting the guys flush it, but also pointing out those points of improvement, maybe showing clips whenever you do after games like that?
Yeah, no, today was less film. It was, we walked through, talked about some things, and I think there's just, again, same, watching the film, similar to last night, a lot of credit to Detroit. Defensively, they were aggressive. They were very good. Offensively, they were good. And there's things we got to work on, and we didn't watch a lot of film today. It was more just kind of talking about it, working on it a little bit.
In training camp in the first year of being a head coach, what are some of the things you start with establishing on your defense to get through your principles to the guys?
Yeah, we have some things, very core principles. Your individual pride. How are we guarding the ball? You gotta be able to guard it individually, but then we want to be connected defensively. We want to have our second line of defense, our third line of defense. Then we want to be able to scramble for each other. So I think all those things are, probably core to us that we've been working on a lot the first 10 days or so. Yeah.
Much has been made about the offensive success that your teams have had, but do you feel like that is a credit to the defense that you guys have played over the years as well on your teams?
Yeah, I think, a lot of what we want to do offensively, I think, is probably better if we're flowing and running and playing off of misses. And I do think that at the end of the day, to be really good and to talk, what you're going to talk about first is probably going to be defense. and hopefully our defense is leading to our offense, wherever I've been coaching.
Next preseason game after what happened?
I think our physicality and playing through it a little bit. I think they did a really good job of like holding us, grabbing us, making it tough for us on the offensive end. I think we have to be that type of team on the other end, right? I think they were a lot more comfortable getting into their shots, getting into mid-range pull-ups. And granted, that's it's a weird shot. Some people like it, some people don't. But I mean, when they're making them at a high clip, we got to do a little something different in terms of guarding it better, giving more effort. So. I think it was just more details there. Obviously, we tip our hat off to them. They played extremely well, but we could be a lot more physical than we were.
Obviously, you got into your bag offensively, you was able to hit some threes and get into the paint a little bit. How much was that a part of, even though you guys lost, for you, like, okay, I know I can get into that mode in a game?
I'm trying to get there. My mindset, I'm trying to program myself to just be more aggressive. Bud is forcing me to do that. And he's forcing all of us to be like that. Like, shoot more threes, look to shoot, look to be aggressive. Like, it's different in a lot of ways. And so, we're all trying to kind of program ourselves to, stop passing up shots, be more mindful of, shooting threes. Like, I shot a step back two at the top of the key, and I was mad. I'm like, shit, if I take one more step back, it's a three, so. It's just trying to get that mindset back, but I think just being more aggressive helps me in that fashion.
Is it a little bit more familiar, though, in terms of not having to worry about, yes, you can still be a playmaker and a facilitator when you have the ball, but not having to find that balance of, okay, I'm the point guard, that type of thing?
Yeah, for sure. But it's still a tough balance, man, because I realize how much talent I still have on the floor. So I'm still mindful. I still got KD, I still got Book, I still got Nurk, I still got Tyus, I got Grayson. I got a lot of guys who can, put the ball in the basket and who have a lot of versatility to their game. So I'm still trying to be aggressive and obviously be Brad, but I'm like, I got a lot of goodness around me too that I want to try to make plays for as well.
One thing we didn't get to see as much, I felt like last year, was your cutting. Like in Washington, you were moving off the ball constantly. Do you feel like within this offense you might be able to tap into that a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, that's just playing off the ball more, and I think the way Bud wants to play in with space, kind of a 5-out approach at times, and we have no choice but to, somebody's got to cut, somebody's got to go back door. But that opens the lane for driving lanes, for those cuts, for those opportunities. So it's definitely something to thrive in, for sure.
With how much of the league's offense and the fluidity of it is with DHOs and resetting in those situations, how helpful is it to have guys like Mason and Yusuf that can hit you on the back doors there when you want to make that cut?
Well, I lived off DHOs in Washington. That's pretty much all I did. But that's one thing I love about Nurk, just his ability to be able to play make, and the staff loves that he's able to do that. And I think the biggest surprise has been Oso and his ability to be able to read DHOs, bypass it, skip to the corner, keep it to the basket. Like he's been exceptional at that, man, and his athleticism, I think, what makes him really good at that. And Mason's the same way. So it's a really good offense for us, man. It's really tailored to what we have.
Monte was mentioning the bucket that you had in Detroit from him at the end of the half, or the buzzer beater, I believe it was. He said that was one where you knew or you liked it. Is that the type of thing that you can feel as a scorer when a point guard knows where you like the ball?
Yeah, and point guards know, like they know where shooters like the ball, they know where their scorers like the ball, and what gives them the best advantage. And a lot of time it's us making it easy for the point guard. Like, where do you want me to be, like spacing wise, like for your read, when you come off pick and roll. So it's a two-way street. But I played with Monte before, so that's a good continuity I have with him.
Scorers like the three of you, like any spot on the floor is a good spot for you. But did you find that with booking Kevin last year that you can take into this year, knowing the spots for each other?
We're kind of all over the place, man. Like it's tough, man. We're all over the place, and we're all a little different in a lot of ways too. Like we score kind of similarly in three-level scores, but we all like to score in different fashions. So it's very unique to kind of see it in live action and kind of pick their brains, and especially Book. Like Book loves, he don't care what the ball is. Like he just wants to get it in his hands and make sure that he's able to make a play. K is the same way. If K gets you on his back and his body until his one leg is over with. So we all got something, but it's tough to stop. I don't know.
Most of the time when you see rookies kind of get ingratiated in what you guys do. It's like the second units, maybe garbage time, they're getting in the game. Ryan's been getting out there with you guys for preseason starts last night. How much do you think that can help him to not just be playing like sort of off the bench, but with you, Kay, and Will too?
Tremendously. I mean, we uplift him in here, but then, for Coach to throw him in the fire, in live action, that's a testament to Coach and his confidence that he has in him. And just our belief in him too, because we uplift him, we encourage him, and we throw him in the fire too. He's going to guard the best player probably 10 out of 10 times. So he accepts that challenge. He knows that's going to be a big role of his, and that's how he's going to get paid and be around this league for a long time. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's on our team. It kind of reminds me of Tumani, like him and also they both have like a Tumani kind of aura about themselves. So I'm definitely happy we got like a 2-for-1.
How much did you keep up with Tumani for his year in Portland?
He had a great year.
He did.
He had a really good year. I tell James I still want him every now and then, but I'm happy for him, man. He's in a great space where he can really excel, and they have a really good young core that they can build up there too. So I'm gonna keep tapping in with his development. Yep.
When you look at last year, it seemed like it was a priority to have his two of the three out there. With the depth this year, is that a necessity to have 2 of you out there or not?
It might be a coach question. I don't necessarily think so. I think honestly, by the rotations he's had, I think there's been times where one of us has only been on the floor. So yeah, that could probably be something he's exploring for sure. Maybe one of us in the second group and just kind of rotate it that way, bring us back early.
Last question. Tyus was saying he kind of prides himself on learning guys' spots and that sort of thing. You're talking about with Monte. How's that process been, kind of realizing how he can set you guys up for success?
It's been great because he's, obviously a natural PG, but I think his ability to be able to shoot that floater, makes defenses, you have to be honest, keep him honest, because he wants to pass first, but I love his ability to be able to shoot and that floater of his, but every pass is on the money. He doesn't make bad passes, he don't turn the ball over, which I gotta freaking work on and get in his lab, but his IQ is huge for the game, and it just makes all of us as scorers our jobs easier.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I thought they shot the ball well. I thought Cade and Tobias hit a lot of tough shots. Some of the shots we wanted them to take, and we'll be better.
Anything when you look at just your role and what you've been able to do, you said you got more involved defensively last night. Is that a growing thing you feel like it's going to be as far as you?
Yeah, I just think it's super early. You just figure stuff out with your teammates and with different lineups, and as the season goes, as long as you're getting better. It's third preseason game, so it was nice to touch it a little bit, and I feel good out there.
What sticks out about Ryan and Oso, kind of how receptive they are, or just learning different coverages?
Yeah, I just think there's a maturity about I don't know how many years they both did in college, but they're very professional in how they practice and how they prepare, and it fits with this team because it's an older team, it's a veteran team, so they're two very welcome rookies.
I don't know if Oso talked to you about this, but he said that he would watch your film back at Marquette.
Is that right?
Yeah, as a passing big. What have you seen from his kind of playmaking abilities?
He's just always, looking to make life easier for the next guy. So, you can tell his DHOs, his angles are good, his backdoor passing is good. He's got a good feel for the floor, and I think that's something that's going to serve him really well with this roster.
When you talk about the professionalism of Ryan, there's possibly more value on the guys that have played more years in college now compared to a lot of the one-and-dones and draft type those guys?
Well, I think for our team and our situation, if you're in a win-now situation, those guys they just come in better ready to complement. I think if you're in a rebuilding organization, then maybe it doesn't matter as much. But I felt like I benefited. I played 4 years of college, and I came into a team in Brooklyn that was trying to win immediately. So, I feel like that's similar for these guys, and they've shown that they have NBA skills and they can contribute to an NBA game, and what you've seen already. So that's exciting.
You've had to set teams for a lot of different types of playmakers, ball handlers last year with Harden and the big three there.
Yeah.
This year, what's kind of been the adjustment getting to know the guys that you're going to be screening for on this team?
Yeah, just I just screening within the system. I think like with Harden and some of those guys, like when I play with D. Will, it's just a lot of just pick and roll. But here, maybe more off-ball stuff, more you just got to listen to what the ball handler wants. Does he want you in and out quick? Does he want you holding? Does he want you, set and go? I think conversation helps make all that better.
And I'm assuming Tyus is a pretty communicative guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's great.
The first few weeks under Bud, you played for a few different head coaches in your career. What kind of sticks out about the way he is in practice, behind the scenes?
Yeah, he's been great. Really good communicator, and he's been very clear about what he expects, and that's all you can ask for as a player.